When it comes to access to basic education, most of us don't think anything of it, especially if you live in the United States. We are so fortunate to be able to learn from a young age and continue to experience life through education. But so many people, hundreds and thousands of people in other countries, aren't as fortunate as we are. In fact, many of them have to make a choice, whether they get clean water or access to basic education. That is why I am so excited to share with you Cynthia Kersey. She is a leader in the transformational industry. She is a best-selling author and was featured on Oprah. And more importantly, she is the CEO and founder of the Unstoppable Foundation. Cynthia, thank you so much. I've been dying to get you to sit down with me.
Thank you.
I'm a fan. I go to your gala
you.
every year.
Thanks.
I love what you do. And it's one of those things that growing up here, we're so privileged. We have no idea how fortunate we are. So before we talk about Unstoppable, let's go back and talk a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about how you got into the transformational space. I know you've written some great books. Like, give us a little bit of your background.
Wow, well, how I got into the transformational space, I was working at Sprint. I was a national account manager working with the Kinko's account. And I was not inspired about telecommunications, you know? I mean, go figure,
Shocker,
right?
right?
I know.
How did that not inspire
Who
you?
knew? I know, seriously. So, but I'd always loved stories of unstoppable people. And as I followed their example, I just continued to grow and be more successful. So I decided that I was going to quit my job, cash in my entire life savings, downsize my life to write my first book, Unstoppable. And when I told my manager that I was going to do that, he thought I was insane.
Right. Like,
I mean,
what
everybody
are you
did. Like, are
taking?
you sure
Yeah.
you're actually doing well? You know. But
why give all this up?
that's right.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was making really good money,
Sure.
but I was not inspired. And that's really my word. So I quit my job, cashed in my entire life savings, wrote my first book. And so I'm living my purpose, which was to inspire people to live unstoppable lives. Everything's great. And 18 months later, my 20-year marriage ended.
Oh, wow.
But as a result of that, my mentor, Millard Fuller, said, when you have a great pain in your life, you need a greater purpose.
Okay, wait, let's just go back. When you have a great pain in your life, you need a greater purpose.
That's right.
That's good. That's
It
one
is.
that's a tweetable.
It is.
Yeah.
It's really profound and I think so true. And he said, why don't you build a house for a family in need? Of course, being the founder of Habitat for Humanity. And he told me about Nepal, and it's such a great place, but one of the most impoverished nations in the world. And so I thought, well, how many houses would I need to build to offset this pain in my life?
Right.
And it wasn't until I got to the number 100 houses.
You helped build 100 houses?
100 houses.
That was a lot of pain.
That was a lot of pain.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that whole year, you know, here I am, you know, speaking to audiences about being unstoppable, and my eyes are all puffy from crying.
I'm just going to keep breathing into this.
No, seriously.
Yes, yeah.
But I needed that purpose that was bigger than my pain and bigger than my circumstances.
Okay, no wonder why I love you so much. Like, I didn't even know all this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just awesome. It's so true.
And so that whole year when I'm out there speaking, and sharing the opportunity, I ended up raising $200,000, took a group of 16 people to Nepal, and we worked on the first of 3 of the 100 homes that were subsequently built. And that experience changed my life.
Wow.
Because I thought I was doing something great for them.
Yeah.
And I hadn't anticipated how it completely changed my life. And then I started integrating giving in all of my coaching programs and books, and so that's really how it began.
And that's way before, I mean, right now I was just talking to my ladies who I mentor about social cause, entrepreneurship, and a lot of them want to have foundations. And I think we're at a time right now, Cynthia, that like people really want to give back and they want to do good.
They do.
They don't necessarily understand the connection sometimes between business and doing good. And like that's just such an amazing story there.
Well, it is, and it really, you know, it's interesting when people are, there's but never been a greater time to give, to do well by doing good than today.
Right.
And social purpose that is associated with a product or service is the number one buying criteria. So So you really do well by
Yeah.
doing good. I didn't know
It all
that back
comes
then.
back around.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
It absolutely. And what was interesting, Keri, is I made more money that year selling a $14.95 book than I did earning a six-figure income at Sprint Communications. And I wasn't focused on making more money.
Right. But isn't that the key, though?
I hear you.
It's like you've got to do something that you are really passionate about, where the money isn't the main focus. And so many people are unhappy in their corporate jobs. And for you to say, you know what, I'm going to cash in my life savings to write a book, where if you were my client, I'd be like, that's not profitable.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But it was for you, you know. But
It
really, going
was.
back to you get what you give, and the more you give of yourself, the more you're really there to serve in the world, the more it comes back
There's no
tenfold. Like you
question.
can't even begin to. It's not just the money, right? It's so much more than that. So that led you on your way to this social cause and doing good.
That's
and
right,
all of
exactly.
That. And then when did Unstoppable come to life?
Right. So my second book came out, Unstoppable Women, in 2005. So I'm looking for that next project that I could align with philanthropically. And I got this invitation to attend a rural African women conference in Kenya. And again, it's out of the blue. The only thing I knew about this conference is that women were coming to share their stories. And I felt like I should go.
Yeah, well, it's just Kenya.
Exactly.
Just a quick trip.
Exactly. So literally within a couple of weeks, you know, I rescheduled I made my ticket, I flew over there, and for 5 days I sat there and listened to stories that broke my heart.
Wow.
And again, they were looking for solutions. They weren't there whining or crying. And in the beginning, after the first couple of days, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt so empathetic, and it broke my heart. And then I started getting pissed off. It's like, how is this okay?
Right. Or how is this even possible? Right?
Seriously,
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
all of it. And I had this voice that said, you know, you should do something about this. And this much more immediate and louder voice said, are you serious?
Right.
You-
Be quiet,
don't even
voice.
think
Yeah.
Right.
Not listening to you.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just put the voice aside, finished the conference. I'm just about getting on the bus. And the women were singing and crying. And they start saying something to me. It sounded like they were pleading. And I asked the interpreter, I said, what are they saying? And he said, they're saying, please don't forget us. I know.
I mean, it just takes your breath away. Like, yeah.
And I thought, you know, I couldn't ignore them. I couldn't ignore them. So I promised I would do something. And I went home, and I was turning 50 that year, and I was at Debbie Ford's house. And did you know Debbie?
No.
Anyway, so she was a beautiful author and speaker, and so we were kind of brainstorming ideas, and then she was talking about her son, Bo, for his bar mitzvah. Instead of asking for gifts, he asked for people to donate money to build a school. And I'm like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's a great
So
idea.
I turned my 50th birthday party into a fundraiser. I charged $100 a ticket, and then I invited people to give more money
Right,
that
yeah.
night, and we raised $80,000.
Oh my goodness.
And that was it.
You have some great friends.
I do.
I have some good friends.
But what was interesting, Keri, is people were thanking me.
Yeah.
You know, like, thank you for giving us the opportunity to give and to make a difference and have fun. And that's when I got really serious. So I started my foundation. I started doing some research, like, what can we really do to move the needle? And what I learned was there are great organizations just building schools in developing countries, and in 3 to 5 years, they're empty.
The schools are empty?
The schools are empty.
Why is that? Because there's so many kids.
It's a very good question. Well, you can build a school, but if you're not providing access to clean water, girls aren't in school, they're fetching water.
Right.
And kids are sick from drinking contaminated water.
Right.
And if you don't provide access to a healthy meal, they're hungry. Can you imagine your little girl going to school and not even having a meal?
No.
Like, how can they think? And if they don't have access to health care,
Right.
you know, and if
I mean, it's really cyclical. Like, it's all
it's a
connected.
holistic
Yeah,
model.
holistic, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if the parents can't earn an income, it can't be sustainable.
So think about that. Like, we often think, oh, you know what, I'm going to give money to an organization. I'm going to go build a school or build a home.
Right.
And you don't even, I would never think of all those other things to consider.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Until I started really.
But it makes sense.
It does make sense. And so I thought, if this is going to work, we have to do all 5. So it just became
Because
exponentially
one wasn't
more
enough.
complicated. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I I did some research and found an organization on the ground that actually just started implementing that 5-pillar model. And so we created a program called Sponsor a Village, which provides, we go into a community and provide all 5 pillars. And, and really the rest is history. So we've been doing that. We've implemented, I think, almost 300 Sponsor Village programs, almost 80,000 men, women, and children are getting these services. And then we looked at, okay, great. Well, what about after primary school, and then we help fund 2 high schools. And then it's like, well, how can we really help them get great jobs? So we partnered, with our partners. We helped launch a college that just started in 2017.
I remember
School of
that at the
Tourism,
gala, yeah.
School of Nursing, clinical medicine
Amazing.
starts next year, agriculture. So it's kind of like when you invest in the Unstoppable Foundation, you're investing in a system that gives them a path to earn money and create great value and service for the community.
It's really incredible what you've
Isn't
built,
it
Cynthia.
fabulous?
That's a long way from Sprint over here.
It really
right?
is.
From
That's
Kinko's
right.
over here to, I mean, looking back at that moment where you were in so much pain and you're like, I got to do something that offsets that pain, to where you are right now. Is it not just, I mean, do you look back and go, wow, I couldn't have even planned this. I couldn't have dreamt this. And for those of you that are watching that are in maybe a job that is killing you, or you're feeling like you're worried about yourself, it's like when you start looking outward and beyond and realizing that you really do get what you give. And this 5-pillar philosophy and system that you've put together really makes so much sense, because there's so many other things that we often see to give to. But I remember the first time I went to an Unstoppable Gala, I was just so taken back by the people in the room and your heart and everyone's heart to serve, and the women that came and spoke about their experience. Like we don't have time in the interview to go into what these women, what these young girls endure, to get water or to go to school, or that like their life is at risk just going to get the water the time, and it's just, we can go on and on. But what I really love about your organization too, Cynthia, is that it's funded by sponsors, right? It's ran, your overhead is covered, because a lot of times when you donate, it goes to running of the foundation, and it doesn't actually go to the work. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, yeah. So basically, we have some incredible supporters who we call them angel ambassadors. Now we call it the Heroes Club, because they really are heroes, and they believe in
something
us.
I aspire to.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll be fabulous.
Yes.
But literally, they understand it's a business. You have to be able to have a team. I mean, I now have 12 people on my team.
Amazing.
If we want to bring education to every child, it can't just be me doing it. You really need a team of dedicated people. So we have supporters that said, here's the money, use the money to help operating costs, so that when I'm out there raising money, 100% of that money goes directly to the international programs.
Amazing.
Which is really, we're very blessed.
Yeah, because a lot of organizations and foundations aren't that lucky, because they have to fund their overhead expenses as well. Yeah, and when I had the Brilliant event, I remember one of the women came up to me and said, I love that you're doing this raffle. How much of the money actually goes to the cause? And I said all of it, and she wrote us a great check, and it was like, oh, people are inspired by that. They want to know that their money's making a difference. And it does in team too. You need the team to make the difference, but it's nice to know that it goes to sponsor the village. And if people want to learn more about the Unstoppable Foundation, what do they do? If you can go to the gala, I don't know. Or can
We're not having one this year.
You're not having one this year?
We're not having one this year.
Man.
Maybe next year.
All right.
Maybe 2020.
So keep your eye out for the next one, because they are pretty amazing. I can only imagine how much work goes into them as well. I do events. I understand. I understand. But if they do want to learn more, how do they do that?
Well, they can go to unstoppablefoundation.org, and they could do something like I did, like turn your birthday into a fundraiser.
Yes.
And you don't have to have it at a restaurant, but literally we have a fundraising page. You can ask your friends.
I've done it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's really simple.
Yeah, so simple.
Yeah. So it's kind of like go online, see how you can want to be a part of what we're doing, and you can call our office, or you send us an email, and our team will reach out and really show you how you can do well by doing good. Because one other thing I want to say is, like Thomas Trower talks about in The Spirit of Opulence, is that, we are centers of distribution. And as the money comes, it goes out and more comes.
Yes.
So what I know about asking people to give is that I am inviting them to change their life as well.
Yes.
That's why I love giving, and that's why I love
so much.
inviting people to give, because I know what it's going to do for them and the beneficiary.
Love it, Cynthia. I love you and your heart. And I want you just to go back to where you were making that pivotal decision to write the book, right? Leave corporate. You went through the divorce. I just know someone is watching this right now and they're having an aha moment going, oh my gosh, I need to find a passion that's bigger than my pain. Really doing outside of yourself and understanding the power of giving. What it does, it transforms your life. And thank you for being such an incredible role model and for allowing so many of us to step into that giving mode and changing lives. I can't wait to go on a trip with you one of these days.
Yeah.
And we'll have to get you to the next Billion event.
Good.
I think the women in the room
I would love
would
that.
love to donate
That'd
to the
be
cause
fabulous.
too.
Yes. And thank you for saying yes
Yeah, of course.
and being a part of this and really helping us spread the word.
Well, the more I learn, the more I love. It's just one of those organizations where everyone behind it and the women that come out of just the community that you've built, it's amazing.
They're extraordinary.
They are, yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Keri. Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching this Inspired Living interview. If you want more inspiration, and I know you do, go to inspiredliving.tv. But more importantly, go to the unstoppablefoundation.org. Learn how you can participate in this incredible organization because it's so true. You get what you give, and when you come from that place of giving, you receive more than you could ever expect. Thank you so much for watching this interview. And as always, remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.